are applying to go to dental school and you are doing the applications, please try to make sure that you do that application when it opens up. Do not wait not 1 second. Not 1 second.
You don't know. Bad man. Yeah.
Hey family, welcome back to my channel. It's Familyy here, back with another video. And without any further ado, we're gonna get right to it. So today's video, we're going to be discussing my journey to DDS, how I got to dental school basically. Long story short, I was blessed enough for it to not have been too difficult. It was like pretty doable. I'm just really glad that I was able to meet my goal of getting into at fall of 2019. I always knew I wanted to be a dentist. And why did I want to be a dentist? I like that we are providing the care, and I like that you get to have that connection with patients. And yeah, after I got serious about dental school for real, which was in high school, I did the necessary research, right? But I was like, I'm still trying to just get into college. So I didn't really do the research till college. In college, I majored in nutrition, right? The good thing about nutrition for the future references is that it provides a lot of your prerequisites if you're trying to get into dental school, honestly, and you don't have to take biology or something, because I didn't want to do that. And I was still able to get a good 90% of my prerequisites out the way through my major. I didn't start planning how I wanted to get into dental school until my sophomore year. So I was a little accelerated. I was an undergrad for 3 years. After my first year of college, I had to really sit down and think, okay, Dami, you got 2 years left in this, and you gotta figure out the rest of your life. You gotta figure out how you're gonna get into dental school. So what I did was I reached out to some dental students that I knew on Instagram, and I asked them basically how they got into dental school, and they were the ones who gave me the tea. And through them, I knew that I needed to have this DAT score. I knew that I needed to apply early a year before. I knew that I needed to make sure that my personal statement was the bomb diggity. It was a lot, but that was the first thing I did. Second thing I did after reaching out to the dental students on Instagram was I sat down and I actually made a plan. I made a 2-year plan, because that's how long I had till I was gonna graduate, on how I would get into dental school. Because of the prior knowledge that I got, I knew that, okay, I was gonna graduate spring of 2019. So I need to make sure that I'm getting into dental school for fall of 2019. So my plan was for the 2-year gap before I am graduating spring of 2019. So after that, I made my plan. I had my top 10 schools of dental schools that I wanted to get into. And I went on their websites and I called them to see what their requirements were and to just make sure and cross-check that everything was good. I literally made like a nice spreadsheet. It was really pretty actually. And okay, this is the school and this is what they're looking for. This is their DAT. This is what they expect. This is this is that. So I did that for 10 different schools that I was interested in, right? And then I looked at their prerequisites, because that's what my main goal at that time was, because I was still in college. And through that, I knew that, okay, most of my prerequisites for dental school and for these schools specifically were gonna be fulfilled through my major. And the only thing that I needed to make sure that I fulfilled outside of my major was physics. And not all the schools required that. Actually, I think all schools require that, I'm not sure. So I made my spreadsheet, saw what I needed, saw the classes I needed to take, saw what I needed to do in terms of my DAT and what each school required. After my spreadsheet, I made sure that, okay, since now that I know that this is the class that I need to take, I made sure that that summer I took Organic 1 and my Organic 2 and all of that. So I was very well versed on what I needed to do to be able to get in and to be able to have my prerequisites. So just make sure that you really do your research, because everybody can come on here and tell you what they did, but you have to make sure that you go and you really cross-check for yourself and you know what schools and what they want and all of that. So after I had my spreadsheet and all of that, and I took my prerequisites, right? The next big thing was my DAT and the actual application, right? So the thing is, I was very scared about the actual application process. YouTube is a beautiful place for information, so make use of it. I went on YouTube and I searched up dental school applications. A lot of videos actually popped up on people going through the application with you and how to fill it out and what you're supposed to write, how you're supposed to write it, all of that. That's how I got the information on how to do the actual dental school application. And my best advice is, if you're not really sure how to do that, literally just go on YouTube and search up the application and it will pop up. This is a very important tip, okay?
When you are applying to go to dental school and you are doing the applications, please try to make sure that you do that application when it opens up. Do not wait not 1 second. Not 1 second.
Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. And when you are also sending in that application and you don't have your DAT scores yet, go ahead and send them. If you know that you're taking your DAT in July and you want to turn in your application as soon as possible, like around June, do that. Send your application in June and you can still take your DAT in July. And if you're scared, you can also just let the schools know that, hey, I'm taking my DAT in July, but I already sent my application. And all of them are usually very open about that. And they're always like, okay, cool. But do not wait to have all your stuff together to send your application. The earlier you do it, the better. So everything just takes a long processing time. So don't waste your time. The second thing is my DAT. That one is on its own, y'all.
Man, DAT, I don't miss those days.
At all. DAT was like the icing on the cake. The thing that I've been waiting for, because I just heard of just horror stories about it. I planned it again in terms of what I needed to do to get the certain scores that I wanted. All the videos on YouTube of people who got high scores, what did they do? How did they do it? What resources did they use? For me specifically, I used DAT Bootcamp, and I 100% always recommend it to people when they ask me, because I feel like it was very good with giving you a schedule of what to do. When it comes to studying for the DAT, I feel like it's something that we don't necessarily all know how to study for. But when you have a schedule of everything you're supposed to be doing for the next 10 to 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, it helps with being able to be on top of it. I think I did the 10-week one. I mean, I did like a 9 to 5, and I would follow the schedule that DAT Bootcamp gave me for each day. And last but not least, there's the waiting game. The waiting game is the time period that you've already done your DAT, you've done your application, and now you're waiting for interviews. And the only thing I'll say about that time frame for me was that I was just glad it was over. So it was actually a fun time for me. Just know that you've come this far already. Don't even trip, just enjoy your life. Enjoy the fact that you've made it this far and you've put in so much work. But yes, that concludes this video on my journey to dental school / I guess tips. But I just wanted to share my journey and my experience and how I got in, because I want to see more representation in dental schools. If you have any questions, you already know the vibes, let me know, comment, all of that. And you can also hit me up, you can hit me up on the socials, and I'll be very, very happy to answer your questions. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.